welcome to What You Missed When You Didn't Exist. I am Corbett, and I am 53.
Wow, you had such a lead up to that. It was like a whole show or something. Goodness.
That's part of the job.
I know, it was just such bravado. It's very intimidating. It's just and I am Corbett. But, it's very, okay.
Well, who are you?
Well, I am Lucy. There we go.
There
It
you
doesn't
go.
have the same bravado. It's different.
Okay.
It's sad. But we're doing a podcast. What did I miss when I did not exist, Dad? What did I miss?
Another thing that's still around now, but nobody knows it is there anymore. I think it's kind of fallen to the wayside. But it had its heyday, specifically in the 80s. We're talking about MTV! Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. So movie TV. That's what that is?
Music TV, music, video, music.
Like music videos?
Like music videos.
Okay.
In the late 70s and early 80s, music videos became really, really prevalent. They probably started because of the Beatles and the Monkees both putting out like music related. Well, the Beatles put out the movie Hard Day's Night, and it's basically the Beatles running around and girls chasing them on a constant level with the Beatles or music playing along with it. It was incredibly popular. It spawned Americans to go, what if we did a TV show about a band doing stuff and they run around and we sell the music and produce the TV show? We'll call it the Monkees. So that gets put out there, and the Monkees produce their own stuff for a while. Because of that, there's videos that goes with it. By then, the 70s hit, and people would start making videos of them just playing their music and putting it out there. Made it easier so they could get their music mass sent out. Instead of waiting for the Ed Sullivan Show and somebody shows up to be on it, just here's the video, play this, and that'll let you know what people think of the band. Because you can see them. Visuals help everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like literally a month before MTV launched, Mike Nesmith of the Monkees produced a show called Elephant Parts. And Elephant Parts was just him and his music and a bunch of like little funny bits in between. So it was kind of like a comedy show with his music kind of laced in between it. And you could see videos of his music. And it was released, I think, as a special about a month before MTV launched. So Mike Nesmith is praised as the father and or grandfather of MTV because ultimately people wanted to see these videos. And because of the way Mike Nesmith produced Elephant Parts with sort of skits and stuff in it and putting story behind the music instead of just like, let's watch the band play, it became a thing that you wanted to see. So there were plenty of music shows that were around at the time that were video music shows. And they would pop up and you'd see like, oh, here's the band on the stage and they're playing. But the ones that became really popular were the ones that had a story. Great example is Aha, Take On Me.
A great music video. An amazing music video.
It's got a whole story. It's got a good song. It's got you pulled in really quickly. And everything started popping because of that. MTV launched in August of 1981 with the first song they put out, of course, Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
Yes. Such a good song.
It's a good song. It's a weird video. And there are a lot more weird videos to come after that. So some weird videos, some people who got their directing debuts that came out of all those videos. Russell McCauley, I know him because of The Shadow, which was very fun throwback to the old 30s. But he did the Highlander movies. He did, or at least a couple of them, I think. He did Teen Wolf, which you might... Oh, no, he did the TV series Teen Wolf.
Yeah, the series Teen Wolf is way better. What?
Oh, brother. Anyway, but he got his start doing Duran Duran videos. So a lot of big guys later on where nobody's doing videos for music videos and stuff. There were plenty of them that came out of that grouping, and there were a lot of videos to be seen. Now, I think the thing that throws it for a lot of people, because for probably the first year, MTV was just a, hey, I'm the DJ, or I'm the VJ, because they coined the phrase VJ. I'm the VJ, and we're going to throw out these songs. And they just kept doing that, just constantly, like a radio announcer. Here's 2 more songs. Here's 3 more songs. Here's some more songs, until probably the end of their first year. And then they started producing things. They started producing television shows to kind of fill in the gaps. They got a lot of things off the ground that most people wouldn't try. But the funny thing is, a lot of the stuff that came from MTV never made it big, but got other people into something big.
Oh, okay.
From Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Winter was a good example of that, because Alex Winter put out a show on MTV that was, I think, just the Alex Winter Show. Could be wrong, but it was him doing skit comedy that was very youthful. I would say it was really independent feeling. Like, I wouldn't even call it like YouTube. They would do weird stuff. I remember them carjacking somebody, and it was like, the joke was the carjacking. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Beavis and Butthead came out of that. And by the end of the 80s, MTV had a following. More than a following, because they had music hours. So they would have like the Headbangers Ball and Yo MTV Raps, and sections of, hey, it's time for this type of music, because music was diverse enough that you could have a type and let people see that type. I think they even had a country music section for a while before, like, was it country music television took off? So CMTV.
Okay.
But that produced, like, I think it was Adult Swim.
Well, I see that their parent organization is Paramount.
Yeah.
Like, Paramount bought them?
I'm sure they're owned by somebody. They're the ones who invented the Video Music Awards. They were originally the MTV Music Awards, but then they became the Video Music Awards.
So wouldn't that be like Nick? Like Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon was one of the other cable channels that popped up around that time. A channel just for kids. Basically, lots of shows came out of it. I think one of my favorite, it was my favorite, but it was really funny. They did a game show called Remote Control I really got a kick out of. And there were several comedians on that who went on to do other stuff. That everything was just a wild idea thrown against the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, that makes sense to some extent, because this is made for youth. And so that's kind of what figuring out life is like. You just throw something and kind of see what sticks.
Yeah, well, the downside to that was, if it wasn't immensely popular, it was almost immediately dropped. It'd get like 1 season, maybe 2, and then go away. Even Beavis and Butthead, which was pretty popular, dropped off after a short while. I think the thing that was also the initiation of the downfall of MTV is the 90s. The 90s are what kind of started reality television, and they were very much the headliners for that, because they put out it wasn't Big Brother, it was Real World. The MTV's Real World. In the MTV Real World, you take, I think, 10 people or 8 people, put them in a room or in a house, and they have to live together, and they get to film it. And of course, everything is over the top, because the one thing about reality TV that I can tell you for sure is it's not reality. They give them a sort of semi-script that, I think there's one in the Real World, somebody goes off about peanut butter. Like, somebody ate somebody else's peanut butter. And so they just go off about how thoughtless you were to eat my peanut butter. Like, who cares? But they make this giant dramatic moment out of it and just film every last bit of it. And of course, if you've watched reality shows, they rehash and rehash and rehash to get this over dramatized version of what reality is. So reality is not very real. But after the Real World, they did like 2, I think they did like 5 spinoffs.
Oh.
Well, they did Real World Seattle and Real World Quebec, they did anywhere they could do Real World. And then they started doing Road Trip or Road Rules, I think. Jackass was another big one that came out of that. I don't know if you've ever seen Jackass, but
No, I have not.
Johnny Knoxville got his start doing that, where he basically, it's sort of like a prank show, but pretty much it's like guys doing really, really dumb stuff and them filming it. I mean, if you've been to college, which I know you have, you've probably seen plenty of guys do lots of dumb stuff because they figured, I can jump off of that. Like, let's film it.
Yeah, It's happened more than once.
Yeah.
There's a reason why males require more insurance than women do.
Yeah, they would really hurt themselves quite a lot in that show. Eh, anyway, it's slowly deteriorated over the years. They filled up so much of these shows into MTV that last time I watched MTV was probably 15 years ago, and there was never a moment when there was a video on. There was no videos. It was just whatever the show was. Like, doesn't even revolve around music in any way anymore. I mean, I totally appreciate that they put out a lot of the pop culture that kind of exemplified that generation. But buddy boy, there is just not much left. It's like they picked up a sponge that's just filled up with culture that's ready to happen, and they just wrung that sucker right out. Every last drop. I feel a little bitter about it, but that's the way television is always going to go. Now it's probably well, I'm sure MTV's on. If it's owned by Paramount, it's probably on Paramount Plus, or all their shows are on Paramount Plus or something.
Yes, that is correct.
But they set a standard. They really set a standard and an idea of this could be the future, and it wasn't really. But it was music, and music is cool. Music is a generation.
Okay. Was MTV kind of created to keep up with like what were the shows?
It was created really because of the creation of cable. Cable television came out in the very, I think, mid 70s, mid to late 70s. It went from 3 channels to, I think it was 15. It's amazing. Can you imagine having 15 channels to choose from?
Yeah,
And the thing was,
crazy.
it opened up even more because then they said, hey, we can do this, we can do that. Because MTV came out, Nickelodeon came out, all these specialty networks came out. CNN was its first only news all the time network. So it was a beginning. It was a beginning of what was going to be thousands of channels down to no channels.
Yes,
Because
precisely.
ultimately cable would fall away, and we now subscribe to 15 different things to get one thing we want to watch. Eh.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, do you think that MTV was used to replace the the shows in the 1950s, the bandstand, like that kind of thing?
American Bandstand?
Yes, that one.
Probably to supplement it. See, American Bandstand had the idea of we'll play the music and you watch these young kids dance to it. So it was kind of like a video, but it was the American Bandstand. It was watching them and learning what the current kids are dancing like. Essentially, it was a pretty good way to keep an idea of the culture. Whereas the music
Oh.
videos were really different. They were a whole other world. They were like a mini movie if they were really
Mhm.
well done. I think there were several that jumped out at me as a kid, video wise. Land of Confusion by Genesis was one of the ones that jumps out in my mind because it's like all puppets of political figures that were from a British show. And Genesis is, I guess, from England. I thought they were from Australia, but it doesn't matter. They're not from America. And they have all these
Yeah.
political puppets that they had running around doing silly things. Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer was all done in stop motion, and that was kind of
Ooh.
amazing. Same with Wing Chung's Let's Have Fun Tonight. No.
I don't know. I've never heard of Wang Chung.
Yeah, you've heard the song. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. It's okay. I'm not very good at music, but anyway, the thing is, it's in stop motion, but they're all using live people to do it. So it's like move a little bit, move a little bit, move a little bit. It's kind of neat.
Mhm.
But you could watch a lot of the songs. Duran Duran did a pretty good job of having sort of a story or an adventure going on with their music. Eurythmics were pretty good about that too. And it seemed like if you had a bit of a show, people would want to watch it. The most ridiculous video I would say is Tony Basil's Mickey. Oh Mickey,
Mickey, you're so
you're so
fine.
fine, you
You're
blow
funny.
my mind.
Come on, hey, Mickey.
It's
Yes.
basically her and a bunch of other girls dressed up as cheerleaders doing a cheer.
That's literally what the song is.
It
That
was
is that
it's
wrong?
it's okay. It's just there's no background, no nothing. it's the cheapest, simplest version of a video you can get. And like that's weird, but it was watchable. So you watch a lot of the older ones when it was just like the band playing, and it's okay. You get to hear the song, you get to see the band members, but it just doesn't have much going on. So it is more exciting to see a video with stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't have videos anymore, or do you just go straight to YouTube now?
Well, see, when you were saying you stopped watching MTV about 15 years ago, that would have been about the time that I was more heavily on YouTube watching music videos. Because at that time, it was young Taylor Swift. Like she probably dropped Fearless at that point, and all the Hannah Montana music videos, Katy Perry, Kesha, Maroon 5, maybe. I think those were the ones that I remember. But at that time, that was when we were on YouTube watching the music videos. And it was always a fun sleepover thing or like a you're bored thing to just look up your music video on YouTube and just watch it all the way through. There have definitely been some way weird music videos to have come out since then. It does seem like it's heavily about storytelling. There is a very rare occasion where you just, have the singer doing their thing. And I think that's awesome because as an English teacher, it's fun to break it down because you typically break down lyrics kind of similar to poetry, but then also you could analyze the music video as a sort of supplemental to help feed into into that analysis, which I always thought was super fun. So it's still there and YouTube is still here. MTV is technically still around, but we're not on cable watching MTV. You just kind of scroll through YouTube a little bit to find something.
Yeah, I suppose that's kind of the way that goes. That's a whole cable thing. But it's a good point. Videos still exist. So that's a thing. You can watch your music videos and still get a kind of feel for the music. I don't know if you need the video to really feel the music. It's one nice thing about music, it kind of evokes its own emotions.
True. But I think if you're ever confused about lyrics, it's always fun to watch the video because then you can see, oh, this is kind of what, they were trying to help get out. And then sometimes the video does not match the lyrics at all. And then you are even more confused and wondering what in the world is going on.
Mm. Well, I will say you do have it easier to know the lyrics nowadays than you did back in the day. Because there were so many times I would stay up all night trying to write down, like, I'd listen to a song 16 times in a row trying to catch all the words they're saying. And there's so many songs I got wrong that were funny. And so many songs other people got wrong that, like, yeah, the Steve Miller Band song, Bingo Jet Had a Light On, is not the weight they were saying.
Oh, man. They have the lyrics built in now. It's a feature on Spotify. You can just have the lyrics right there.
Yeah, well, you're living the fancy life now.
I know.
Actually,
The
I've noticed they have the
future.
video in Spotify too. If you're watching it, it'll pop up
Yeah.
the video.
They'll have like a little short of it. It won't be the whole thing, but it'll be like 30 seconds maybe. And it just replays those 30 seconds over and over again. So it's fun.
It's interesting. Different take on it for sure. I do kind of miss the VJ handoff. There's something nice about a disc jockey or a video jockey kind of talking in between. Like, hey, here's this song that's out. They just came back from a world tour of this, that, and the other. They're really neat. They, adopted a kid. They got all this stuff going. You find out like background little things and then off to the song.
Hmm.
And it's nothing big, but it's sort of nice. I guess I kind of miss that to a certain degree. It's nice to have the talk show piece.
Well, not to burst your bubble, Dad, but they also have that on Spotify.
What?
They have a DJ.
I didn't even know that. They do? How do they have a DJ?
If you go into Spotify right now and look up DJ, the DJ curates specific playlists and vibes for you. And they'll talk to you like you're talking to a DJ or a radio host, but they'll make it specialized and they'll like shout out your name. So they'll say, "Hey Corbett, I've noticed you've been listening to these tunes real nice this last week. Let's go ahead and add some more to the mix. Enjoy." And it's just like goes.
Hmm.
So
Okay,
you
that
get a
sounds a
DJ.
little creepy, but okay.
Well, welcome to the world of AI. They create your DJ's mixes for you.
Yeah. Well,
Ah, there, it popped up. Sorry.
uh, It's okay.
I was trying to click on it to see if it would like preview me some stuff, but it just automatically gets into the "Hey, welcome back to Spotify. Glad you're listening to some tunes."
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, apparently, music lives on, regardless of whether the music videos live on or not. So,
This is true.
this has been What You Missed When You Didn't Exist. And that's the show.
Catch some sick tunes.